The dua of the mu'mineen that day would be, Rabbi Sallim, Rabbi Sallim, oh my Lord, save us. And when I look at the young people going to the schools, knowing this society that has the sweetness on the outside, but on the inside is now becoming more and more rotten, I can only remember this dua. Rabbi Sallim, Salimna Ya Rabb, save us from what we see ourselves now living in. Oh, you who believe, many Muslims and non-Muslims were shocked last week. Many people cheered. Many people rejoiced at the death of an individual. His name was Ted Bundy, and he was considered to be what is called in this society a serial killer. They say that the 80s, the 70s and the 80s, in this technological society, when akhlaq is gone, when character is gone, it is producing a new type of individual. The type of individual who hunts human beings, who kills Bani Adam for lust. He kills children. He rapes and he murders the innocent and the weak in order to get pleasure, in order to enjoy himself. And he may come to you as a businessman. He may look like a successful individual in this life. And this case was a shocking case for many because the individual was a middle class to upper class person, an established lawyer, a very fluent man, a man who was successful, you could see in all different walks of Hayat al-Dunya. But he confessed to the murder of 20 women. And the crime that he was convicted of was the rape and murder, wal-iyadhu billah, of a 12-year-old girl. What would drive a man who was so successful in this life, who had everything that America could offer, to lower himself, asfal as-safilin, to become worse than hayawan, worse than an animal, and seek out the innocent and the weak in order to gain pleasure at their death? When he described himself, he said, I had a Christian upbringing. And when I was young, I was exposed to pornographic literature. I used to find this material in the garbage cans outside of the houses, and I would read this filthy literature. Then I began to watch the television and the movies, the blue movies, the pornographic movies. And then I started to feel something else coming inside of me, a form of a beast, a nafs, a mara bisu. The evil side of the self came so strong it overpowered him. And the man asked him, just before he was killed, the man asked him, what took you over the limits? What made you lose control of your inhibitions, your haya? And he said, I used to drink alcohol. And so when he took al-Khaba'ith, the mother of all the sins, when he drank this, his fear was gone. His haya was gone, and then he began to commit these crimes. He could not control himself. And the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, has showed us about haya. He has shown us in hadith, and Uqba ibn Amr, radiyallahu an, that he, alayhi salatu wasalam, said, إِنَّ مِمَّا أَدْرَكَ النَّاسِ عَنْ كَلَامِ النُّبُوَّةِ الْأُولَى إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِي فَاصْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. He said, peace and blessings be upon him, among the words people obtained from the first prophecy are, if you feel no shame, then do as you please. So when haya has left the individual, when the control of the nafs al-mutma'inna, when it leaves the person, then the person can do anything. He has no more hudud. There are no more limits surrounding his feelings. And so Muslims should be aware of this, because we are living in this society. Our children are being educated with the same education. We are exposed to the newspapers, to the magazines. We are exposed to the education. We are exposed to the movies. We are in the same pot that creates an individual such as this. And so this, wal-iyadhu billah, is a danger to us as well as it is a danger to the other people. We must remember the stages that he went through. and try, especially in dealing with our children, to help them not to fall into this pit. And if we are in this pit, then we should save ourselves before this nafs, amara bisu, takes us over and changes us into a beast, as this individual, wal-iyadu billah, was changed into. Reading the dirty, filthy literature, using la'ana, cursing and filthy language, watching the filthy movies, and above this, taking in intoxicants, shurab al-khamar, taking in the alcohol, taking the drugs. And we find that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, in speaking about the nafs, in speaking about the inside of the person, that really controls the person. He told us, al-birru husnul khuluq, wal-ismu ma haka fi nafsik, wa karihta an yattala alayhi nas. Rawahu Muslim. He told us righteousness is good morality, and sin and wrongdoing is that which wavers in your soul and which you dislike people finding out about. So when your inside no longer has haya, then this is what leads you into ism and udwan.